Hello everyone, FPL Raptor here and welcome back to another Fantasy Football Fix daily price change prediction video. We come to you every single evening from the Fantasy Football Fix studios to bring you the latest news with respect to potential price rises and potential price falls. Now, the weekend, as it always is, was absolutely crazy. There's lots of transfer activity happening and therefore lots of potential price rises and price falls. People react in knee-jerk fashion and bandwagons start to build over the weekend as all of the games are being played. Obviously, as we progress throughout the week, transfer activity will slow down, but there are still quite a few predicted price rises and price falls tonight. So we'll get onto those in today's video. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Now, the man we're going to start with is the man that was on yesterday's thumbnail, and that is Romelu Lukaku. Remember, I was recording yesterday's video during the Chelsea-Arsenal game, and I said he had got the goal, and that a bandwagon was well and truly forming after that, and the bandwagon has continued. Now, at the time of recording this, he's at around 118.1% progress, and he's still rising at around 3.4% per hour. So the bandwagon has continued throughout the day. Just today alone, not including yesterday, he's been transferred in by 134,000 managers. So people are trying to get Lukaku in at any cost whatsoever, and that's why we're seeing a lot of price falls as well in the striker area as well. Now, he only scored one goal, but he did have an XG of 1.34 and an XA of 0.47. So he was expected to be involved in almost 2 goals, which is fantastic data even for such a small sample size. If we take a look at his shot map from yesterday, he took a total of 8 shots in one match, and it was 7 shots in the box. And you can see they're all in very, very good central areas. Now, obviously at Fantasy Football Fix, we're very interested in statistics and we like to be quite stats heavy. But also, just looking at the eye test, if you watch the game, he was absolutely fantastic. He looked really, really fit. He played the full game. He was getting into some fantastic positions and linking up with the players around him really nicely. So the stats back him up, the eye test back him up, and managers are looking to bring him in quite heavy amounts. Now, the one thing I would say is the fixtures aren't fantastic, but if you are looking to wait to transfer Lukaku in until around game week 7 or game week 8 when the fixtures do start to swing in Chelsea's favour, we don't really know what price he's going to be at that stage. We've seen already, after just one goal, how many managers bring him in. If he does score in the tougher fixtures in game week 3, 4, 5 and 6, he might be potentially £12 million or more by the time the fixtures do swing to be really, really nice. So I think fortune favours the brave. If you go for him early on to try and beat that price rise and you bring him in ahead of game week 3, 4 when the fixtures are quite difficult, I think you might be rewarded with that. And for those of us that like to wait and play the sort of safe game and wait till the fixtures turn, we might unfortunately be priced out of the move. But very, very interesting. I would say that there's a very strong likelihood that he does go up in price tonight. So if you want to catch him at 11.5 million and you don't want to wait until he increases, then I would transfer him in tonight. So the next player we're going to discuss is a player that's been flirting with a price rise for a while now, and someone that I know a lot of managers are going to be interested in, and that's Simek, the £4 million hero from Game Week 1. Now, we know he did get a price rise in Game Week 1, up to 4.1 million, and he's now looking like he might get a double rise and go up to 4.2 million before Game Week 3. Now, at the time of recording, he's at 104.5% progress, so he's exceeded that 100% progress that he needs for the price rise, but he is rising quite slowly. He's rising at less than 1% per hour, so if it does continue at that slow rate, he's still on the threshold of a price rise, so he might not be tonight, it might potentially be tomorrow, but we're going to go out on a limb and we're going to say we think he is going to rise in price tonight. Now, I wouldn't personally be bringing in Simek at this point in time. He looks like he's going to lose his place to Andy Robertson in Game Week 3. If Robertson isn't quite fit enough, it might be Game Week 4, but he's on very, very thin ice in that position. I don't expect him to keep Andy Robertson out of the starting 11, and the Game Week 3 fixture against Chelsea isn't that nice anyway. You'd probably want to bench him regardless. So I wouldn't be looking to bring him in. I would be looking to sell him. Now, if you bought Simek for £4 million and you currently own him, remember, if he goes up to £4.2 million, you can sell him for £4.1 million, thereby banking £0.1 million profit. So that is what I would be waiting to do. If you own Simek and you're looking to sell him, wait until he goes up to 4.2 because you can bank that really, really nice profit. Now, if you are looking to sell Simek and you want to sell him for a £4 million defender, I think the best defender at £4 million is probably Tino Livramento, the young fullback for Southampton. If we bring up their touch maps from the first 2 game weeks, you can see they are very, very similar. Obviously, one's on the left, one's on the right, but they're both bombing down the wings. They're both getting into some relatively exciting areas. The only key difference in the touch maps is that Simek was on a few corners in Andy Robertson's absence, whereas Livramento isn't isn't on any set pieces. But he's still getting up the wing. He still looks really promising. There is a small chance that Southampton play a 5 at the back or a 3 at the back, and Livramento plays at right wing back. He can also play on the other side as well. So Livramento would be my number one choice. And obviously, if you wait until Simek goes up to 4.2, you sell him for 4.1 therefore, and you can buy Livramento for 4 million and thereby bank the 0.1. So that would be my personal move that I would be looking at. Livramento is also only at around 30% progress, so it doesn't look like Livramento is going to rise in price anytime soon unless there's a big bandwagon the next day or two. So you can potentially hold off, wait for Simek to go up, hopefully tonight, potentially tomorrow, and then bring in Livramento and bank that 0.1. So that would be my personal move that I would be going for. Now, if you are looking at bringing in Shane Duffy instead, who is the other popular cheap defender, just worth noting that Shane Duffy did increase in price last night to £4.1 million. But if you wait for Simek to go up to 4.2, you can basically just do a straight switch between Simek and Shane Duffy. You're not going to lose any money. You're not going to gain any money. So that's another potential option. And we did discuss the stats for Shane Duffy in yesterday's video. So go check that out. He's a brilliant option. He's getting a lot of shots off in the box. So Shane Duffy, Livramento, both great options. I wouldn't be buying Simek at the moment. And if you're going to sell Simek, wait until he's risen in price to £4.2 million. Now, the most noticeable price fall today, predicted price fall anyway, is John Stones. At the time of recording, John Stones has had almost 100,000 transfers out this game week alone after missing the action in game week 1 and game week 2. He's at around 104.4% progress, so he's exceeded that 100% progress that he needs for that price fall, but he's only falling at less than 1% per hour. So again, very similar to Simek, but this time with a price fall. He's on the boundary or the threshold for a price fall, but he's falling quite slowly. So he might not fall tonight. However, I think if I owned him and I was looking to move him out, I'd probably make the move tonight just to make sure, because otherwise you're then going to have to go for a £5 million or find the funds elsewhere. If we have a look at his shot map from last season, we do know that John Stones was starting to demonstrate that he did have goal threat. Along with the clean sheets for Man City, that obviously is perfect for FPL. He had 15 shots in the box last season, including 4 goals from an XG of around 2. So he does pose a decent goal threat. We know he got that massive haul in the double game week last season. Obviously, the main issue with John Stones is we just don't know when he's going to start. He might potentially have an injury because he's just missed out altogether following his involvement in the Euros. But he only started 59% of games last season. He started that really nice run where he started 6 or 7 in a row, but Laporte was injured and Ake wasn't up to fitness. So with Laporte and Ake both fully fit and in the fray, I just don't know how many games John Stones is going to start. And I do have a feeling that Laporte is actually first choice alongside Diaz, and we just won't know that for certain. So I think at £5.5 million, there are a lot of better options around there. So if you're looking to sell John Stones, I think tonight might be the night. He might just escape a price fall tonight, but if he does, he will then fall in price tomorrow, most likely. Just whilst we're on the subject of English centre-backs, I know a lot of people will be watching this video, hopefully getting information on Ben White. He did look like he might have fallen in price last night, but then people just stopped selling him. So at the time of recording this, he's only at around 83.9%. So he's not at that 100% progress required for a price fall, and he's only falling at less than 1% per hour. So not many managers are transfer him out. So Ben White might actually survive a price fall this game week. So guys, there you have it. Those are the predicted price rises and price falls for this evening. Now, just a friendly reminder that this is not an exact science. Still early on in the season, there are a lot of wildcards being played, and wildcard transfers don't count towards price changes. And also, the algorithm is still learning the new parameters for the upcoming season. So this is only a prediction, and also, especially at the weekend, but also come on a Monday as well, because there is still a lot of transfers happening. The bandwagons change on an hourly basis, and someone that's predicted to rise in price at 4 or 5 p.m, by the time 8 p.m. swings around, they might not be. So the best way to get around that is to keep up to date with it yourself. It's updated all the time. So if you head over to fantasyfootballfix.com or download our free app and enable push notifications, you'll be able to stay up to date with the latest transfer activity and also the latest predicted price changes. That's the best way to stay up to date with it, as well as watching these videos. And if you are enjoying these videos, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. It helps support the channel so much. We're loving bringing you daily content, but we also love the support as well, and it really helps the channel to build. We'll see you every single evening, so do enable notifications to know when the videos go live, and we'll catch you tomorrow, guys. Thank you very much.